Now, we as humans have a lot of things we disagree on, but I think there's one thing that we all agree on. That we must protect our planet, right? Well, get ready for your beans to be baked. I don't know what that means, but okay. That's right, PragerU has recently released a video explaining why fossil fuels are preferable to sustainable alternatives. If you had faith in humanity, well, that's been taken care of. Okay, but I have to be clear, this channel is no place for hate for conservatives or liberals. If anybody is targeting any specific group negatively, I will find you. This is also not an attack towards PragerU as a whole. Today we are specifically watching one video and giving our take. Let's get this fun fest started.
The Los Angeles Times predicts doomsday unless we pursue a world without fossil fuels. The Secretary General of the United Nations agrees. So do many politicians and environmentalists. This raises two questions. Is such a world possible?
It'll be hard, but yes.
And is it desirable?
Yes, it is.
Let's try to answer both.
I've just answered both. You don't need to do that.
In 1950, more than 60% of the world's population was undernourished. By 2019, it was down to less than 9%. What has changed? The answer is the introduction of modern herbicides, insecticides, fungicides, and fertilizer, all of which depend on petroleum products.
So this is an interesting point. He's saying that fossil fuels have saved lives, and they absolutely have. Like investing resources to help those who need to be fed, investing in sustainable technologies will help people as well, just in a different way. Those people being ourselves and future generations.
The human labor required to harvest a kilogram of American wheat has declined over the past 2 centuries from 10 minutes to 2 seconds. Without fossil fuels, much of the world's population would starve to death in a year.
I'm gonna die. Nobody's asking to take away farm equipment that is essential to feed the world. We are asking to replace current technologies with sustainable options so we can get both out of the deal. You're assuming this is an either-or situation when it is both and. We can continue making advancements in feeding the world while advocating for sustainable alternatives. It's not mutually exclusive.
Even renewable energy, the presumed antidote to fossil fuels, at least in the power and transportation realm, is completely dependent on fossil fuels. What do you think those wind turbines and solar panels are made of? Fiberglass and myriad other materials derived from petroleum.
2 things. Number 1, this is why we have programs to offset carbon emissions. And number 2, if you had to choose between 2 energy production methods, one being one that was initially harmful but later sustainable versus another one that is initially harmful and later harmful, then you would choose the better one, right? You choose the better one.
Since wind and solar are inherently intermittent, it's not always sunny and it's not always windy, there has to be a source of fossil fuel energy as a backup nearby.
Okay, yes, as of now that is the case because, as you said, 80% of the world is powered by fossil fuels, but in a world where 80% of it was powered by sustainable alternatives would be the backup. And your point is that sun and wind power are limited by their availability and therefore sustainable options are best. But you know what else we're gonna be limited by the availability of? Chocolate cake. No, fossil fuels, you dingo! Yeah, that's right! We will run out of them one day!
The world the LA Times wants, a world without fossil fuels, won't prevent doomsday. It will cause it. Worldwide poverty, mass starvation, and the end of civilization as we know it.
Oh my god, I need a Tylenol. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. Your logical reasoning just kinda disappears at this point. Nothing you said in this entire video substantiates that argument! You gave not very good reasons why sustainable alternatives will cause hunger. Not the end of humanity! So you think that pumping our environment full of unnatural amounts of greenhouse gases isn't doomsday? Sustainable alternatives will cause us to prosper both now and in the future. It will not cause us to die. You know what will? Fossil fuels! I feel like you said something earlier in the video that backs up the idea that sustainable alternatives will save humanity.
The Secretary General of the United Nations agrees. So do many politicians and environmentalists.
Yeah, well, I can't remember. Unfortunately, it appears the video is about over. I know. Everyone be quiet. Everyone shut up. Well, try not to die.